Today we've got ourselves a special episode as the two top prospects in college basketball face off for the first time of the season as Kentucky hosts UCLA, the teams of Jackson Baldwin and of course Freddie Staples. So let's go ahead and hop into it. We'll be watching all of the action that they provided in this game, starting with the Freddie Staples steal here, leading to a massive Jackson Baldwin block. Both prospects making great defensive highlights to start this game. That one was blocked all the way out to mid-court. Of course, Jackson Baldwin was called the Creek Freak by our friend Carter early on in the episode here. And he's showing a little bit of some post moves with the turnaround jumper. And then, of course, Freddie Staples got some pretty lofty comparisons by our friend Carter as well, being called Westbrook with the drive here, trying to show it off, but Jackson Baldwin with another block. He has been showing some great defensive prowess thus far in this game, and now going to show off a little bit with the assist game on the other end. But Baldwin was also Freddie Staples was also referred to as Steph Curry on the shot and Tony Allen on defense. So these are some pretty lofty expectations for these two. But so far, I got to say, they've been pretty impressive despite the miss there. Jackson Baldwin able to get to his spot with ease here. Freddie Staples creates a pretty good look, but Jackson Baldwin able to play some nice defense and come across on the other end and get the transition bucket. Their potential assist for Freddie Staples ruined, and then of course Jackson Baldwin, the transition bucket there. Freddie Staples able to score on the cutter play, now handling the ball in the pick and roll. Dishes off to the big man. That one is blocked once again by Jackson Baldwin. This guy is out here blocking shots everywhere. Nice pass by Baldwin there. Will get himself an assist. Kentucky off to a very hot start here, led by Jackson Baldwin. Staples now in isolation. He gets to the cup off the glass. That one drops home for him. 6 points on 5 shots early for Freddie Staples. But Jackson Baldwin with a nice pass to the inside there to answer the bucket back. He's been showing a lot of good basketball skills outside of scoring here early. In terms of his scoring, though, that was an ugly, ugly shot. He's been taking a lot of threes, which I don't think is necessarily his game. I think it's hurting his efficiency here early in this first half. And Freddie Staples there with a little bit of a mistake here in the post. This is one of my favorite plays of this game. Jackson Baldwin doubled. Does not matter. The drop step is good. He's up to 6 points on 6 shots, and it's really been the threes that he's missing. But Freddie Staples with a turnaround from the mid-range. That one falls for him. He's starting to heat up a bit with the scoring. Jackson Baldwin, I think he's been a little bit too shot happy with the 3 in this game. But somebody who's not too shot happy with the 3 is Freddie Staples, because he's quite good at it. One thing that we learned just talking to Kentucky staff is they're really encouraging Jackson Baldwin to take a lot of threes here this season, try to expand his game. And so, yes, it's hurting his efficiency, but I don't mind Kentucky trying to help his draft prospects by maybe learning to kind of go from just a driver only to somebody who shoots. It's definitely not working for him today, but it's nice to see that Kentucky is encouraging his progress and not just forcing him into a box. And there he gets stuffed as he goes to the inside. He's been doing a really good job of getting to his spots on the drives. Just finished not there as Freddie Staples pulls up from the mid-range and gets it to go off glass. 8 for 10 for Staples. He has been a monster here, this time picking up the assist on the pick and roll. Offensively, Freddie Staples has been really honestly fun to watch, and defensively he's been solid too. Baldwin on the drive here. This time he's going to get himself to the line. Nice strong move at the cup. This dude definitely has, you know, the size and the strength on the drive to get exactly where he wants to go. Ignore those season stats. Those aren't actually true. But Baldwin here, 2 for 2 from the stripe. I definitely like what we're seeing more when he's attacking downhill, despite the fact that he has been blocked. But this time, Freddie Staples going downhill and just can't get that floater to drop for him. On the drive once again. This floater, though, will drop pure. I like seeing the variety of moves. We've seen Euro steps. We've seen floaters. We've seen dribble pull-ups into bank shots. This time he's splitting defenders to get straight to the cup. Freddie Staples is on one today to start the second half. He is single-handedly keeping UCLA in this game as no one else is helping him out too much, maybe other than Jaime Jaquez. But there, Jackson Baldwin gets his three-pointer to drop. Staples is blocked here on the mid-range shots. That's the one thing. If there's one kind of concern with Freddie Staples is how successful can you be building around a 6'2" guard? And I really like that this is a storyline here for our first draft, because it's really similar to a storyline that happened just in real life with Scoot Henderson, a really, really talented guard prospect, can do kind of everything offensively, except Scoot's not as probably good of a shooting prospect as Freddie Staples. But it's the real question is, building around that 6'2" guard, does that work in today's NBA? But seeing moves like that, it's hard to see him not being a great player. 25 points, 18 in the paint. He's just been on the drive all game long, and he's been really good when he's gotten there. And Jackson Baldwin, he's going to say that that was an assist there, but a little bit too much jump shooting from him, I'd say. It's kind of weird that Jackson Baldwin's out here doing a bunch of jump shooting and Freddie Staples is getting all of his production driving to the hoop, as that was a beautiful pass for the assist to bring this game down to 4. I kind of thought, it would be the opposite, where Jackson Baldwin was getting all his production in the paint and Freddie Staples was a little bit more on the perimeter. So that would be one thing that I would say I was surprised with here. Jackson Baldwin looked like he was having a successful post drive there, but then the help defense kind of screwed him up. So he ends up pulling up for a mid-range jumper that he breaks. Scoring-wise, Jackson Baldwin hasn't been doing a ton. He will get to the line here, though. But just outside of scoring, with the passing, the rebounding, and the shot blocking, he's been really, really impactful on today's game, despite the fact that the shot just hasn't been falling for him here in the biggest matchup of the year. And Freddie Staples there, thought he was going to dunk that. I know he has a prolific dunk package. It just hasn't been going to it very much in this game. This time, Freddie has it on the corner. UCLA down 7. He tries to feed it inside on the bounce pass, but he's going to get stolen. And in transition, Jackson Baldwin will cut to the basket and get himself a dunk. Freddie Staples on the cutter play once again. He gets the hoop and the harm. That cutter play has been really money for UCLA. And if Freddie Staples ends up being added to the team, we got to make sure that he's getting plays like that for us as well, because he's been really good at converting them here for UCLA. Gonna pull up from the mid-range and use glass once again. I'm just very impressed with Freddie Staples and his variety of moves on the drive. We've seen pretty much everything except for a poster, and I wish we would have seen a poster. That would have been really fun from either of these guys. But overall, I'm kind of impressed with what I've seen from both, as we are down to 2 minutes left in the game. Kentucky leading by 7. Staples will draw himself a couple more free throws here. He has been ultra aggressive on the drive tonight. Does miss this first free throw, though. Pretty bad time to start missing free throws here, and he misses both. So the Kentucky lead will remain at 7 here. Baldwin, what is he doing, just pulling up from 3 at this point of the game? I don't like the sequence for either of the players there. Baldwin guarded by Staples here. Staples not backing down at all. And Jackson Baldwin, what are you doing? I just have not liked the shot selection. Yes, I know Kentucky is encouraging him to jump shoot more, but sometimes you gotta find yourself a lane to the basket, my friend. And Staples is going to miss the layup. Baldwin applied some defensive pressure there on him. And as the game winds down, Freddie Staples is going to be charged here with an offensive foul. And that's going to about do it for this game. Kentucky would end up winning 88-81, but we're not really concerned with the end score of this game. Much more concerned with the production of the two guys that we really came here to scout. That being Jackson Baldwin and Freddie Staples. And Jackson Baldwin, despite not shooting it well at all, ends up winning player of the game. And that just goes to show you how much he can impact the game in all the other areas. And let's go ahead and take a look at the box score here. Baldwin was second on the team in scoring. Only shot 5 of 17, which obviously isn't good. 1 of 7 from 3. Way too shot happy with the 3, but 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks. I mean, the guy was just impacting the game every which way you possibly can. And then Freddie Staples with an absolutely awesome scoring clinic. Most of his work coming on the drives into the inside, which is where you really worry about a guy who's 6'2", where he can contribute there. You know, you never really worry about him being able to create a shot on the outside, but the fact that he was able to get most of his, big game production from the inside is really encouraging. So even though Baldwin, I don't like his shot selection in this game, and if we end up drafting him, we'll definitely try to make sure he gets more of his looks inside. I think the stock is up for Bull. But a prospect preview is not the only thing we're doing here in this episode. We're also getting our first ever matchup with the Seattle Supersonics. We're doing a little bit more condensed highlights in this game compared to what we've been doing previously, just because we showed the prospect highlights. But Jalen Duren able to get off to a nice start with the pick and roll layup. DeAndre Ayton fed inside the post here. He's got Duren on him. Just manhandles him to get underneath the basket and gets that layup to go. Levert now. He's got the ball. Dishes to Duren inside. A couple of pump fakes frees him up to get his second shot to go. He's got the first couple of baskets for us. Hayward in the post going to work against Reddish. That little turnaround shot with the left hand falls for him. Levert dishes inside to Duren, and he has been a very heavy scoring target early. I think our offense is at its best here in year one when we're running pick and roll with Jalen Duren, who's making now plays on the defensive end of the court. In transition, Reddish pulls up from the short mid-range and ties the game at 10 with that shot. Draymond Green is fed on the cutter, and he slams it home to give Seattle the lead. Now he's trying to dish out to Alvarado, but Nembhard does a nice job getting in the pass lane here. And a nice bounce pass to Jalen Duren. Nice sequence from Nembhard getting in the passing lane, and then with a beautiful bounce pass to the roll man. That's the kind of stuff I like to see from our two rookies, as Harrison Barnes was open for 3 from the corner there to extend the Seattle lead. Mike Conley dishes to Joe on the other end. He gets a foul pick. He's pulling up, leaning to the left from 3. It doesn't matter. He's a very skilled shooter. He gets that one to drop. Jumo Kiki with the board here. Now we're pushing in transition. Isaiah Joe has a clear path to the basket, and he gets the layup to fall. I like to see that there. Mike Conley, he's dishing out to Christian Braun, who pulls it from 3 and gets that one to fall. And that's going to be an and one here on the other end for John Collins to tie the game at 20 now, with a chance to take the lead here with 3.5 minutes to go in the first. That free throw will drop. Mike Conley with the ball now. He's going to dish out to Christian Braun, who gets himself another open 3 and gets it to fall again. Much better start for him than last episode when he's started to get minutes for this squad. But neither team able to really pull away here, as it was back and forth for the entirety of the first quarter, as Schroeder with a nice transition bucket there. Paul Reed here. Seattle playing for the last shot. Dishes down to John Collins. That shot will not fall. So Seattle will have a 2-point lead after one here in Las Vegas. Been a nice, close, entertaining game so far. You can really tell that both of these teams aren't great. We'll just say that, but a nice start to the second quarter for Nembhard. And Jayshawn Tate pulling up off of the screen and hitting the three. That's something you don't expect from him too often, but nice to see him show it there, for at least if you're Seattle. Nembhard here, he's had a good start to the game. 3 of his first 4 shots have fallen. He's getting himself some clean mid-range looks. Karis LeVert with a very slow start to this game, which is very atypical. He's been kind of our best player, but Jalen Duren there taking care of the miss, of course, with the offensive rebound and the reverse dunk. Speaking of LeVert here, he gets this mid-ranger to go off glass. As you can see, he started 1 for 7 as that make puts him at 2 for 8. So he's really been good for us in all these episodes, but not in this game, as the post play of Ayton will give Seattle the lead, but we'll take it right back with a nice cutter play from Nembhard. His hot start continues here in the second. Nice shot created for Isaiah Joe. That one is butter. And the Outlaws lead by 2 here. Under 5 minutes to go in the second. Score is the same. Dwight Powell on the pick and roll. Slams one home. And I think that feels like the first time we've had a 2-basket lead. At least since early on in this game, if not for the entire game. Isaiah Joe pulling up from 3 in transition. That one is pure. 7-point lead now for Vegas. We're starting to pull away a little bit here in the second half here of the second quarter. But Draymond Green pulling up off the screen and hitting from 3. I don't know about that one. Derek White on the drive, gets the shot to go, also gets fouled by Isaiah Joe. You know, people scoring on the drive off of Isaiah Joe. What's new in this series? It's been happening all the time. And so just like that, Seattle is right back within a single point after we built a nice little lead. And then the lead will be diminished entirely as Gordon Hayward ties this one up. Neither team able to find an advantage here in the first half, but Braun finds himself open from the mid-range. Will take the lead. 1 shot remaining here for Seattle. Looking to tie or perhaps even take the lead here prior to halftime. Derek White gets the Tillman screen. He's pulling up from mid-range, and that one will not be online. And so Vegas went from down 2 to start the second to up 2 to end it. So a nice quarter for us. We got the halftime lead at home here, hoping to extend it as Jalen Duren with a nice block to start the half. Karis LeVert now with the ball, dumps it down to him. He pumps back out to LeVert. Nice pass there by Duren, getting defenders in the air and creating an open shot for his teammates. Now Reddish has it on the corner. He dumps it down to Duren. Thought that one was stolen for a second. Instead, we'll find ourselves a Duren dunk. 14 points on in 15 minutes. I like to see that from Duren. Here, though, he's going to foul DeAndre Ayton on the drive. And Ayton with a 3-point play opportunity. Gets it to fall there. Still have ourselves a nice little 6-point lead, though. And here, nice step back from LeVert. Gets that one to go. So after a 1 for 7 start, he is starting to heat it up a bit here. Reddish with the rebound after the tip from Duren. We kick to the corner for LeVert. And oh yeah, he is definitely heating up. Lead now 14 for the home squad. Alvarado dishes to Ayton. I kind of like that little play there. A bit of a ghost screen. Gets himself an open layup. Nice play call from Michael Stauffer here of the Seattle Supersonics. Conley dishes to the corner. And oh my goodness. This is a totally different man than what we saw just last episode, who couldn't make a shot. Now he's hitting everything in sight. Cutter play for Harrison Barnes, gets himself a dunk. But still an 11-point lead for Las Vegas here. And can he get it to go again? Yes, he can. Christian Braun. Is it Braun? I don't know. Honestly, I got to look it up. But he's been on fire, especially if he's going to have good episodes. Got to learn the man's name. I'm pretty sure it's Braun, though. But I could be wrong. Up by 9. They kick it out to Schroeder. That 3 is offline. But John Collins with the offensive rebound looks to find himself a 3-point play. Just of a different variety here. Free throws up and online, so our lead is cut down to 6. Isaiah Joe gets the Dwight Powell screen, kicks it inside to him. He gets the layup to fall. Fouled by Xavier Tillman in the process. So we're looking to return that 3-point play with one of our own here. Free throw up and good by Powell. So he completes that one. In transition, we're kicking ahead to Okeke, out to Conley in the corner. Back to Okeke with a fancy pass, and he slams it home. Nice job by Conley. One of the few highlights it seems like we've had from him in recent episodes. He really had just that really good episode 1 that was erased, and otherwise has been pretty bad for us this season. But addition to Hayward out on the wing, he gets the screen. Driving to the hoop from mid-range. The leaner is gonna drop. And with a few seconds left in the third, we're gonna play for one final shot. Conley's gonna take it. Step back mid-range, and with 0.2 seconds, we get the bucket back and have an 11-point lead heading into the third quarter. But we have been here before. We've had, strong, the first 3 quarters, but then just absolutely falling apart in the fourth. Got to avoid that here. Cam Reddish gonna get us off to a nice start off the screen. 3. Hayward dishes inside. Ayton through some traffic. The layup finds its way home. Derek White here on the drive. He gets stuffed by Jalen Duren. The defense has been showing up quite nicely for him in today's episode. Dribble handoff to LeVert. He is very aggressive off of it. Gets to the basket. So after a 1 of 7 start, he has made 5 of his last 6. Definitely a tale of 2 different players here in this game. Cam Reddish hitting up from deep in the fourth. LeVert dishes inside to Royce O'Neal. One of the few times we see him shoot as he gets it to go on the cutter play. Duren hands off to LeVert. He's going inside and gets the layup to go. This is the LeVert that we've come to know and love here in Season 1, carrying our offense once more. Ayton in the post. That's a nice move to get it to go over. Some pretty solid defense from Duren, I might say. LeVert gonna get doubled there in the mid-range. Reddish hesitates for some reason, but still pulls from deep, and it will fall for him. All of his second half points coming here in the fourth quarter, and most of his points for the entire game, as Derek White pulls from 3 and hits it. Nembhard out to O'Neal. He's gonna fire it off the catch, and that one will fall for him. He's a pretty good shooter. I wish he'd shoot it just a little bit more, but we would end up pulling ourselves off a 14-point victory against the rival Seattle Supersonics. The first time these 2 expansion teams meet, and the first time we're able to pull off a victory in an episode here. So a lot of exciting stuff happening in this episode. Our first win, our first matchup against the other expansion team, seeing the 2 best college prospects, the 2 of the top 3 in the class overall, face off. Overall, I think this was a nice episode, and of course, tried for some post-edit commentary in this episode. If that's something you'd like to see going forward, let me know, or if you prefer the live commentary, go ahead and let me know that as well. This episode and the next episode I already have pre-recorded to have this post-edit commentary, so I'm just trying things out in the series to see what people enjoy more. I honestly think there's pros and cons to each type of commentary. But Levert would come off a bad start to end up being our best player tonight, really, with 19-7. But Jalen Duren also throws his hat in the ring for being best player in today's game. I thought Nemhard had a really good start, kind of cooled off near the end, though. But we'd simulate all the way to the trade deadline, which will be next episode. Planning on making at least a deal, maybe two, if I can find anything that works for us. But here in the 2-point win against the Pelicans, Reddish and Braun and Nemhard and Duren really carried us there. So a nice balanced effort. And then Reddish with 31. So Reddish being the leading scorer in our 2 wins. Not something I expected, but that would be how we get to the trade deadline. That's all I've got for this episode. I'll be back soon with another, and I will see you then.